Thanks, Jamie. Can you hear me okay? I'm on the laptop because I couldn't be bothered to spend half an hour setting the PC up, so I haven't got my usual big microphone which is behind me. So it's saying that it's working though, so I'm just trying to set this up in OBS because it's just the quickest way to stream was through the laptop. Just so much quicker than switching the big desktop on and going through all the settings. But I hope you can hear me all right. I'm just trying to get through the settings on OBS now because there's a few things I've got to set up. Dee, 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 dee. What a day it's been, Jamie, I'll tell you. What a day it's been. So yeah, he fixed it and then 5 minutes later it was leaking again, but it's literally just like a drip now. I'm actually not using the hot water downstairs because I don't want to, put more pressure on the line when there's no need to because, I could just use a kettle for downstairs. It's not really a issue until tomorrow. It's only 24 hours, isn't it? But it's just literally just drip every now and again. Whereas this morning it was gushing. Oh my god, it was gushing. It was gushing. I had this stupid little bowl because I got like I got what do they call it? Jesus, a shelf. That's the one. I've got a shelf underneath my sink, and so I've got a bowl sitting on the top of the shelf, and it was catching the water. That's the biggest thing I could put there was one of those little glass bowls, and I say it was literally filling it up within about 10 minutes. So that was fun. But it's not doing that now. I say it's just literally drip, and it's like dripping about every 10, 15 minutes. So yeah, I mean he really ratcheted that up with his spanners. It still wasn't enough. Anyway, I rang them and they said sorry about that. We'll come back tomorrow afternoon. I said it'd be alright until tomorrow because it's not, as I say, it's not pissing out which it was this morning. Bastard. I hate water. I really do. Oh, it sounds clear. Oh, that's good. That's good. That is good. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Oh, I can't be bothered with that. I'll sort it out later. It's just how to get rid of these lines. I'm working that. That's all right. That's all right. Oh, look, you can see my. I wanna unclip this so I can make myself bigger. That's what she said. That's what she said. But I can see the sound's working because you can see that little bar going up there. So I can see that's working. So that's good. All right, well, we'll see if anyone turns up. I obviously haven't. Um, I haven't even promoted this stream because it's literally just a quick one. Uncle Albert, doing the more. I always loved that one where he said he started going about and Dell goes, "Gold." He says, "I swear if you mention the war one more time," and he says, "I wasn't going to mention it," and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Carry on, carry on." And he goes, "During the 1939 to 1945." Oh, that was classic. Classic, man, classic. They don't make them like that anymore, Jamie. They don't make them like that anymore. Yeah, only fools and horses. That's my go-to. Every time I feel sick, I go straight to UK Gold. Weird, isn't it? But I've heard a lot of people do that. So yeah, I know. Me and Walter, it's just it's like my kryptonite, Jamie. It's like Superman's kryptonite. Me and Walter. It's just it hates me. It just hates me. I don't know why. I haven't done anything to it, but it just hates me. It really does. Really does. Oh, well, I'm glad it's working anyway. It's a nice alternative to doing it on my tablet, which is okay. But I've dropped a lot of frames though. Bloody hell! But I'll say it's only on my tablet. So anyway, stop nattering, Dave. So what am I going to talk about for 10 minutes? Let me see if I can just uh, oh, that's interesting. I'm watching myself change stuff live. Right, shit, I can't put Facebook on here, otherwise that's going to appear on the screen. Hang on, hang on. Let me sort that out. There we go. Now you can only see my beautiful face. My beautiful face. Right, now I'll put Facebook on. Sort that out. There we go. Oh, I can see myself. I can see myself. Share. No, not that share. Just share. That's what I want. Put that on there. Put that on there. Okay. Messenger. Quick stream. Right. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Let's see if I can get this up on the screen. Right. Let's go back to me. Back to me. To you, to me, to you, to me. Here I am. Hello, Mr. Champ 92. Welcome along. I've had a few problems today, so I'm actually broadcasting just from my laptop. Jamie says the sound is okay, but I haven't got my big microphone, which you can probably see. It's back to front. That's good. That's my left and that's my right now, is it? Okay. Yes. My big over there, you can see my big microphone. I'm only on the laptop. I've had a few problems today, so yes. Hope you all have had a good first. Well, I thought I had, but this morning I had a water leak, and so I had a few problems with plumbers. But anyway, we will continue. Now, the shocking news I've got for you today has got nothing to do with Formula One. I know, because this shocked me to the very core. I'm going to try and no, that's not it. Where is it? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? I might have to read it out without you seeing it because I can't. I don't know how to bring the. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can do that. I'm literally sorting out OBS live while I'm doing this. Literally live. Right, has that done it? No, that hasn't done it. Come on. No. Ah. Dear, 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 dear. I had to work, but I had a good day at work. Oh, good. That mic is excellent. Oh, is it? Wowzers! It's only the microphone actually on the laptop, so I'm glad that's working all right. Well, life is not only always about sports and entertainment as much as we all might love it, but as you grow up and mature, you see the brighter picture. This is true. So, unfortunately, because I'm still trying to sort out the settings on OBS, I can't show you the screen that I want to show you. So, I'm just going to say what I see on the screen, and that's the shocking news that came out yesterday, in fact, which I was very surprised about, and that is that EA will no longer produce the next WRC game. So, if anyone remembers, WRC, the game, EA took the rights over from, I think it's Kleinerton, who had it before. I think that's their name. I may have butchered that, but we'll say Kleinerton. Took it over from them very early on because, of course, they needed time to develop a game from scratch. I think it was 2022 is when they started work on the WRC. It came out in 2023. And it was not very well received when it first came out. In fact, it was horribly received because it was working on the Unreal Engine. A lot of people thought it was going to come out on the Unreal 5 engine, but Codemasters, being Codemasters, said no, we'll release it on the Unreal 4 engine, which is the generation before the latest one. It's understandable. The Unreal 5 is still, not 100% stable, and so it was a good idea to go one generation back. But unfortunately, it had a lot of problems, a lot of graphical issues when it first came out, and gameplay was a lot of lagging. It was slowing down, which, as you know, for a rally game is sacrosanct. You can't have a rally game that slows down because when you go into the corners, you just end up flying off the circuit. So it's got to be stable, especially in a rally game. And so it wasn't. It wasn't stable at all. And so initially, it lost a lot of potential buyers because of this. And a lot of people in the reviews said that this looked like a game that still needed 6 months till it was finished. But unperturbed, EA went away. This is the team that's produced some of the greats in rallying. Colin McRae Rally, I'm sure you'll all remember that one. Probably the greatest rally game that's ever been made, I would say. The very first Colin McRae I'm talking about on the PlayStation 1. That was just absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. And in my opinion, it's never been bettered, really. I mean, they come out with sequels and improvements, and then, of course, it comes out on PS2. Lots of graphical improvements, of course. Then it comes out on PS3. Now, of course, the PS3 era of Colin McRae, well, it was fragmented because, unfortunately, that was the period when Colin died in the helicopter accident. So it was, they went to Dirt, of course, but of course the first one was still called Colin McRae's Dirt. And then when the second one came out, it was still called Colin McRae's Dirt 2, but the Colin McRae was a lot smaller at the top of the title, and it was produced after his death, but they had permission from the family to include his name, which I think was rightly so. And so they included his name in the title, so it was Dirt. But those Dirt games, Dirt One was a good start. It wasn't that special because unfortunately there was lots of different car classes, but the weight and the feel of the cards across the classes all sort of felt the same, very floaty on the surface, very floaty, and that's really not what you want in a rally game. But I think by the time they got to Dirt 2, in most people's opinions, Dirt 2 is just awesome, absolutely awesome. I got it off eBay a couple of years ago, and I just played the crap out of it because it's just brilliant. The way it's got real players in there as well, and you've got all the greats from yesteryears. You've got Tony Hawk in there, and all those great sportsmen as well. I can't remember all of them. You got Ben Salami, of course, used to be a rally driver. The head of the FIA. He was in there, and if you hit them, they would start complaining at you, which I thought was great. So out on the track, if you hit them, they'd start having a go at you, and these little sound bites would come out as you were driving along. And so Dirt 2 was really good. And then Dirt 3, I think, was the epitome of the series. I think they've really reached... The only thing I didn't like about Dirt 3 was the Gymkhana. I can't stand Gymkhana. I think it's a pointless thing to have in there, and I don't understand why it was put in there, but it's very much like the drifting events, which they started to put in later Dirts. I can't stand those either. Oh, my God. Only because I'm no good at them. If I have to do the drifting events, I always put the difficulty level down to very, very easy just to get through them because I just hate them. Hate the drifting. Anyone who loves the drifting, that's fine, but I can't stand it. And also the Gymkhana events, I can't stand them when you're going around a pole. Oh, God. No. But apart from that, I think Dirt 3 was absolutely brilliant. It really was. Even better, of course, than the first original. But of course, that's purely because of age and how old the game was. And then, of course, they started to sort of take a little bit of a wrong step. We had Dirt 4, which was a competent rally game, but it tried to sort of be a hybrid where it had the two difficulty levels in the handling, where you had real life simulation handling, or you had your basic Dirt 1, 2, 3 handling that you've had before, which was kind of weird. It was a sort of hybrid game, very, very weird. But then they sort of went in another new direction, and then they produced the Dirt Rally games, which we had Dirt Rally 1 and we had Dirt Rally 2, which was a return to the older style of dirt games, which was basically the point-to-point races, where it was just you and the time clock, and that was it. And they were received really, really well, as to be said. Dirt 1 and Dirt 2 are really classed as quality titles, and I have to agree with them. I have to agree, they are really good. But of course, then we move into the EA taking over Codemasters era. And what did we end up with? Well, we ended up with Dirt 5, which I think in most people's opinions was definitely the worst Dirt game. There was another one that came out after Dirt 3, Dirt something or other, but that was just like a sort of stopgap, so we won't even include that. But yeah, Dirt 5 came out, and that was just absolutely... Now, it wasn't really their fault. It was produced by the ex-employees of Evolution Studios, because at the time Codemasters took over Evolution Studios because they were about to face bankruptcy. And so they took on a lot of the employees from Evolution Studios. Now, Evolution Studios were known for more sort of arcadey racing games. They did Drive Club, if anyone remembers that, very, very early on in the PS4 life cycle. We had Drive Club. So they were known more for the arcadiness, not sort of simulation. And that's what they gave us with Dirt 5, a pure arcade racing game. There was no damage, which I find appalling. I mean, there was only cosmetic damage to the car, bodywork damage, but you couldn't knock wheels off your car. You couldn't damage the car. You couldn't, make the car so the steering was all... So basically, it was just Gran Turismo Rally, basically. and it was just I didn't like it. It was such a shame after having all those other rally games that then this one comes along, and I just didn't like it at all. So that's where we were, and unfortunately, the official WRC license had gone to Kleinerton, and they've been producing those games off for years, and they've been yearly releases as well, which is, as Codemasters know with the F1, is very, very difficult to do. To bring out a racing game every single year and only have a few improvements on it, because what do you do to improve on it? Well, you can't, can you, really? Because you've got a 9-month development window. But Kleinerton were bringing these rally games out, and when they started, they weren't very well received, and rightly so, because the early ones were pretty rubbish, has to be said. But then, as things went along, they did start to improve, and I think the WRC 8, 9, they were probably the pinnacles. Then they started to go a little bit downhill with 10, and then Generations, which was the last one, which was clearly just a cash grab before they were losing the license. So there wasn't anything that sort of Codemasters could do about rallying, and it was obvious they didn't want to bring dirt back because they were eyeing up the WRC license. And then in 2022, they got that said license, and they came out with, in 2023, EA WRC, just to confuse everyone. EA WRC, as I say, when it came out, it wasn't well received, but over time they improved it and improved it and improved it. And right now, I've still got to play it, I have to say, but I have got it. But right now, it is a very stable and good game, apparently, from what I've heard. Very, very stable and a good game. But unfortunately, it looks like the actual sales for the game have been very poor indeed. And this is why EA have taken this decision to pull out. So they've made one game, and now they're gone. Now, the other problem with this is, I don't know about Kleinerton Studios, whether they, because that was all, I think that was all they were producing was the WRC game, whether those employees were laid off or whether they moved on to other projects. If they were just laid off, they must be absolutely fuming right now. That EA came in, grabbed the license, they had no chance of keeping it because EA had just got pockets full of cash and said, yep, no, we're having it. Grabbed the license, produced one game, and now said, that's it. We're finished. Now, a lot of the stuff was from 2023. They've done an update pack which has got a lot of stuff from 2024. And they have said that the game will still be available for future people to buy. That's fine, but it will not receive any more updates. So that's it. It's going to be a standalone game, and there won't be any more. So anyway, I'll just read this out. EA will not produce the next WRC game. The company has paused work on any future rally titles, with the WRC game going in a new direction. EA Sports and Codemasters will not produce the next official World Rally Championship game, it's been announced. EA Sports WRC was released in 2023 and updated to reflect the 2024 season through a season update content pack, with 2 further DLC packs being added to the game in January and March 2025, respectively. But in a statement titled Development Update, EA shared that it had paused development on future rally titles. Now, I understand from looking around while I was waiting for the plumber to turn up, from looking around, that EA have actually lapsed on the license. So anyone now can come in and grab that license. If there's any studio that would like to start making rally games, from what I understand, I can't confirm that, but just from looking around, that's what I understand. They have let the license lapse now, and so yes, that can now be brought out by anyone. Every great journey eventually finds its finish line, and today we announced that we've reached the end of the road working on WRC. After releasing EA Sports WRC in 2023, the 24 season, including the recently released Hard Chargers content pack, will be our last expansion. For now that's important. I don't understand why they'd say for now if they've let the license lapse, because they're not going to suddenly come back. Although thinking about it, there is a possibility there. Because they're saying, for now, we are pausing development plans on future rally titles. But that also means, in the future, they could bring back the Dirt Rally series. That's what that means. They're saying, for now, we're pausing, but they could bring... I mean, they're not going to want to go and buy the WRC license again because it's gone. You don't buy something once, let it go, and then bring it back again. Sometimes you do in marriages, but yeah. Rest assured, EA Sports WRC will continue to be available for existing and new players. But for how long? Because they always delete games now after about 2 years. So, usual EA bullshit. We hope it remains a source of joy, excitement, and the thrill of rally racing. We've poured our hearts into making it for fans, and we know you'll keep the passion alive. Our WRC partnership was a culmination of sorts for our Codemasters journey with off-road racing. Yeah, and basically that was how Codemasters started, although they didn't really, because they started with Toka, which came out in 1997. That was basically the game that put them on the map. Colin McRae came out a year later in 1998. Well, it wasn't that exactly a year. I think October was Toka, and then I think the next March, I think, of 1998 was Colin McRae, so about a 6-month gap. But it was really Toka that put them on the map. That first Toka game is really what put Codemasters out there, because everyone just raved about that game when it first came out. But I can understand what they're saying. Yes, when the first Colin McRae came out, it was just like nothing we'd ever seen before. In terms of the fact that the handling was absolutely beautiful, really was. Spanning decades through titles like Colin McRae Rally and Dirt, we provided a home for every rally enthusiast striving tirelessly to push the boundaries and deliver the exhilarating thrill of driving on the ragged edge. We've brought together incredibly talented racing developers, worked with some of the sport's icons, and had the opportunity to share our love of rallying. I also understand they have let go most of the staff that worked on EA Rally, WRC Rally, which is very, very sad for anyone to lose their job. Doesn't matter, what it is you're doing. Some might think, oh well, that's a Ponzi job anyway. It doesn't matter. Anyone who loses their job is not good. Is not good. And so I understand that they have let most of the staff go. They probably kept a few on for other departments, but I understand that most of the staff are now gone. Thank you to all the fans who have and continue to be part of our rally journey. In its own statement, the WRC confirmed that its gaming franchise is going in a new and ambitious direction, with news expected in the near future. Clonaton held the rights to the WRC title before Codemasters acquired it back in 2021. EA Sports merged with Codemasters in 2021. Yes, we know that. We know that, don't we? Got a few comments underneath as well, which I always love to read the comments from people. Given EA's knack of absorbing popular developer studios and then shutting them down to save costs a few years later, I sincerely hope that Codemasters losing the official WRC license doesn't leave them with nothing to be kept around for. Well, that's not correct, because they've still got F1 at the moment, so that's what they're keeping them around for. I still remember how half-baked the game was on release. It's a generally okay game now, and they have fixed many aspects of it. Shame really, the switch to Unreal Engine is such a double-edged sword, because in its heart lies a competent and fun rally game that feels miles better than anything Clonaton ever did. I truly felt bad for the staff because I still remember how EA literally chopped the guys at Codemasters very shortly after the game releases. WRC should rethink about the decision carefully and maybe consider a non-exclusive license so it can reach more of an audience. So there you go. Pretty sad, really, I have to say. I don't know what the new and exciting direction's going to be, but there we go. Oh, we got some people in. Hello, everyone. In case you didn't join me at the start, which you didn't, this is just a very quick stream because of I've had a few water problems today. Yes, a few water problems, and I'm streaming on my laptop. I have been told by people in the stream that the sound quality is very good, so I'm very happy about that because I'm not talking on my big microphone. And of course, the thing about not talking on my big microphone is we get more room for TB. Yes, more room for TB. Yes, there he is, everyone. TB the bear. TB the bear. Yes, everyone's favourite bear. Ah, put him back down there. I don't know what the image quality of my beautiful face is, but it's only a 720p camera. But to be fair, so is the one that I use when I'm doing proper streaming. So it should be about the same as usual, which shouldn't be any difference, to be honest. But this is on my laptop. So as I say, I just put the laptop on and did it quickly because it's just so much quicker to fire up than it is waiting half an hour for my desktop to fire up. Otherwise, it would have been an even shorter stream just waiting for that. So yeah. Right, let's get to these messages. I can see your messages. I can't put them up on screen, unfortunately. I'm still trying to work out OBS because I literally just turned this on. I had OBS set out, but not for streaming. So I've literally just turned this on. And so trying to do some of the settings. But I can see your messages. I've got them right in front of me. You just can't see them, but I can see them. Well, I don't know. It has quite some size. Oh, no, for real. Yes, for real, mate. EA did a good job with WC from my personal opinion. Yeah, I did. Sure, it took time, but let's see if we can get the rights now. Hello, Mr. Plano Plessy. Welcome to the stream. A shame that the Codemasters rally games are over. Yes, it is a shame. It is a shame. As I just said in that little ramble I did just before I've come back here, you know, they were great games. They were the sort of games that kept me interested and kept me in gaming. Like that, I say that very first Colin McRae. Oh my god! And then the sequel was very good as well, very good. And then we had Colin McRae 3, the first one on PlayStation 2. That was okay, but you've got to forgive them for that because obviously they developed that on the PS2 and it's a new console, so we got to give them. But when they came out with Colin McRae 4 and 5, they were the pinnacles of rallying, I think, on PS2, it has to be said. Burton on Milestone was quite decent too for what it was, despite the engine. I think the F125 game will really make or break for the company. Yeah, I think it will. And judging by that video they brought out yesterday, if anyone's seen it, it's going to be break for the company because I've never seen 15 minutes of rubbish in all my life. I would show you, but I haven't got it set up to show videos or anything like that. But I did watch it. It's Matt Gallagher and Alex Jacks doing the commentary. I wish they wouldn't because you can't hear the engines of the cars underneath. Just give us. Don't put in your thumbnail gameplay and then just talk all over it. There's just no point. Just no point. But in that 15 minutes of gameplay, I've never seen so much claptrap in all my life. They are emphasising so much about the reverse tracks. It's unbelievable. You had reverse tracks in Grid Autosport 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And if I understand it rightly, it's a long time since I played that. You could reverse track all of them. I'm pretty sure you could, or most of them anyway. There was not just 3 tracks, all of them. I do, if I remember rightly though, they didn't turn the banners round or the hoardings or the arrows. You just went round in reverse. I think that's how it worked. But anyway, we're still talking 10 years ago, and now they're coming up with this, oh, it's a big feature, big feature. And then we got ex-Matty G going on about the fucking blossom trees at Japan. I'm like, are you serious? And oh my God, that could not have been more scripted if it had tried. Clearly, Matt was just reading from a script and saying, give me the money now. Give me the money. Show me the money. He was saying, show me the money. Because his delivery was just ridiculous. Thankfully, I mean, you couldn't see their faces, but obviously Matt must have been like this, just reading off the script. Matt's got no interest in the F1 games. He hasn't played the F1 games for about 10 years. The F1 games were just a tool to get him further up the ladder of success. That's all they were. He had no real interest in the F1 games, even back when he showed that he didn't really. As I say, it was just a tool to get him up the ladder. So it's just funny that, they get Matty to talk about F1 25. But it was just 15 minutes of absolute claptrap. It really was. Unbelievable. Colin McRae Rally. Hello, Mr. Will F1. Welcome. He says, oh my God, David, a t-shirt. I know, it's been a very stressful day. And it is quite warm in the UK right now, is it not? Yes. Richard Burns Rally is godly. Yeah, I've heard that. I have heard that. Yeah, I've never actually played Richard Burns Rally, but I've heard that it is godly. It's a proper rally simulation, apparently. And the fact that even today they've made mods for it as well, which I think is great. The modding scene has kept the game alive after, God knows, what is it, 22 years? I think it's 22 years since that game out. But yeah. Break Plynal says Will F1. Congratulations to Oscar Piastri on winning the Miami. Yes, congratulations, Oscar. Congratulations. We'll say that now because it's probably going to happen. Probably going to happen. Still a few problems at Red Bull at the moment. I don't think Max is going to have the ultimate pace again. So yes, we will say congratulations. Godspeed, Colin McRae. The man was brilliant. He had no fear to take any risk behind a rally car. That's true. He did have no fear. Unfortunately, he did bend his car quite a few times, but oh my God, if you've ever seen some of the rallies when his car's literally like a crumpled up crisp packet and he still carries on going. There was one where we got out and he's banging the wing with his foot. It's basically just because the wing had stoved in and was touching on the wheel, and he's just bashing it with his foot. Just brilliant. Natural talent, yes. Plana Plane says Dirt 2, which featured the person who is now running F1. Cough. MBS cough. That's the one. Yes, of course, if anyone doesn't know, he was a rally driver, was the FIA president, yes, at the time. And he is in Dirt 2. And he says things to you if you hit him. I can't remember what he says, but he says things to you if you hit him. Which is fun. Really is. I'll say Dirt 2 off the PS3 rally Dirts, that was the pinnacle, really was. Because I say all those guest star voices that were in there, they must have spent megabucks, Codemasters, on getting all those people doing voice over work. I can't even remember who was. There was tons of them in it. I can't even remember half of them, but there was loads, which is unbelievable. Says Champ 92. I never would have thought that we could despise MBS one day like that, but hey, yeah, here we are. Yes, here we are. Planet says Dirt 3 was a great game. It was. I platinumed it as well. Yes, Dirt 3 was a great game. Apart from the Gymkhana. Yes, as I said earlier, I cannot stand Gymkhana. Going around those bloody poles. Unbelievable. So, but apart from that, absolutely godly game. They've got the handling physics as well up to perfect. It was very good in Dirt 2, don't get me right, very good. But in Dirt 3, just had that little extra something which made it absolutely perfect. Gymkhana with Dirt 3 and Ken Block became a thing. I don't know, I loved it, but I know what you mean. It's basically what a bit sketchy. Yeah, if you loved it, I can understand. Me personally, it just didn't have any appeal for me, just running around those poles and what have you. But yeah, if you loved it, then I know a lot of people did on YouTube as well, and made lots of videos about it, and yeah, it's great. But I just I'm just too old for all that stuff and nonsense. Dirt 5 came out before Codemasters got bought by EA. Ah, did it? I didn't realise that. I thought it was afterwards. But still a very poor game in my opinion. Very poor game. But as I say, made by the ex-crew of Evolution Studios, so you can't blame them. They weren't even, wasn't even the Dirt Rally crew. It was just, old employees. So you can understand it. Their brief must have been just bring out another Dirt game, basically, and that's what they did. It is another Dirt game, but it isn't a Dirt game at all because it's just rubbish. Dirt Rally was the one before Dirt 4. Yes, that's right. It was Dirt Rally. Nah, man, I ran the series to death into the ground, similar to what happened with the Need for Speed series or the Fast and Furious movies. God awful at some point, you have to know when to stop. Yes. Fast and Furious, know when to stop. Surely they don't know when to stop. Uh, I watched all of them about a year ago. I was about four films behind. I got up to about, I think, five. So I watched the rest, and they just get more and more overblown as the films go on, and the plots get just sort of less and less and less, and it just yeah. I'm glad it is. It looks like it's finally being finished. They're making sort of the last one, which may turn out to be two movies. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm glad they are finally seeing sense and saying, yeah, we've milked it dry now. We've milked it dry. There's also lots of stories about spin-off movies as well. There's, of course, been the spin-off movies with the Hobbs and Shaw, but I don't think that will come to fruition. I think once the last Fast and Furious movie comes out, I think the whole franchise will just die a death, and it's not before time. Not before time. I'll tell you another one that needs to die a death is Transformers. Oh my god, I love the Transformers movies. I had to say because I'm a science fiction geek. I love the Transformers movies, but I did see the latest one last year, not the computer, not the CGI one, the last live action one, and I've never been so disappointed. It was just horrible, horrible claptrap, rubbish movie, and I got to the end. I just got to the end without falling asleep, which is unusual for me. I got to the end and I said, right, that's it. As far as I'm concerned, the Transformers franchise is finished. I will, when I get a chance, go and look at the CGI one though, because they say it's really good, and of course that's a different genre altogether because Transformers was on in cartoons long before they did the movies. So I will watch that one. But as far as the live action Transformers, nah, nah. Thank you very much. I'm done. I'm done. This is just my take, says Champ 92. And Evolution Studio used to do WRC games for the PS2. Yes, they did. Yes. Yes. Some of the first one. In fact, they did the first one, didn't they? WRC. That was horribly received. Yes, because the handling was goddamn awful. I played a demo of it. I never actually got the game, but I did play a demo of it, and yes, it was goddamn awful. you want to do some more parts of something that at least be original and implement stuff that you can use, yeah, that's true. Grew up with Studio Liverpool F1 and Evolution Studios WRC 2003 as my first ever racing game on a PS2. Then along came Formula One 2001 for me. Yes, that was a great one. That was a great one. SL to me was simply the best that Studio was so far ahead of its time. Sadly, they closed down. Afterwards, we know what happened when Codemasters took over. Yes, Studio Liverpool. They did carry on for quite a few years after the F1 finished. I don't know what they were doing, but I think if I remember rightly, I read it was 2012 when they eventually shut down. Which, if you consider their last F1 game was Championship Edition, which came out in 2007, I think it was March 2007. Um, there was quite a big gap when they were still going. I have no idea what they were doing. Obviously, they weren't doing the F1 things, but they were doing other things, I presume. And yeah, it was 2012 before they unfortunately filed for bankruptcy. So yeah, as per usual, Dave says the truth here. Well, thank you. Telling the facts. The WRC account said that the series is undergoing a new direction with more news coming in the future. So my guess is someone else has the license. Yes, definitely someone else will have the license. Whether it's gone back to Clonaton, I don't know. As I said, I don't know whether those boys and girls were actually all laid off and whether Clonaton's still going. I'd have to look that up. Who will take over the license and start to produce the future WRC games, in your opinion? It's 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 a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one. It's the same as everyone keeps saying about the F1 license, and they keep saying, "Oh, that's gonna go." A lot of people are forgetting one thing. Number one, uh, EA have got the license for have got an option for the license for 26 and 27. Okay, all they've got to do is sign on the dotted line, and they will have the license again for 26 and 27. As I understand it, it's on a year by year basis. So they've got it for 25. All they've got to do is this October, which I believe is the last sign-in date for whether you're going to start making another game again. They've got until this October to just sign on the dotted line, and then they've got it for 26. And then they can do the same again. They've got it for 2027. That's how the contract works for it at the moment. After 2027, I don't know what's happening, but they've still got it for another 2 years. So lots of people saying, "Oh yeah, well, 2025 will be the last game." I doubt that it will be. I doubt that it will be, and especially now they've paused on the WRC. That means some of the. I know they got rid of a lot of them, but they would have kept some of them on. Maybe they've put them onto the F1 because I do believe that the F1 team has shrunk quite a lot since it first started. So maybe they should focus more on the F1 for the next few years and produce a good game. Because of course, don't forget they've got a huge upheaval next year with the regulation changes. All the cars' designs have got to be changed. The way the aerodynamics works, with of course the front wings now that are going to go up and down. I've seen the video about it. Yes, the front wing now actually goes up and down, pretty much like the rear wing DRS. The DRS wing on the rear is going to still go up and down, but it's not going to have the movement that it's got now. Where it completely goes like that. It's going to be sort of like a half up like that because it's going to be a culmination of the front wing, which is also going to have like a DRS flap opening as it goes in the straights. All that's got to be factored in for next year. So yeah, that's going to be a tough one. So yeah, who's going to take over? It is tough because, as I say, they've now got to build that. I mean, if Clonaton are still going, they could take it over because I'm pretty sure they probably still have the assets from when they made the last rally game. So it wouldn't take them that much longer to put a rally game together, because the assets are still there from past games. So they've only really got to update stuff. So that would be a possibility. Let me just see if it's still going. Clonopin addiction. I don't think that's what I was on about. What the hell's clonopin? Oh, a drug for anxiety. Oh, I could do with some of that. Give me some clonopin. But I didn't want that. I wanted clonopin. Come on, Google, sort me out. Kylo Tom. KY. Games still going? Yes, they are still going. Clonoton, now known as KT Racing, is still actively developing and publishing games, including racing titles like Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown and the MXGP series. They're also known for their sim racing experiences. So they've done Solar Crown, MXGP, the official game. So they could buy it back. They could buy the license back, definitely. Peloton, as I say, that would be the easiest studio to buy it back because they've still got those assets from the last game they made, WRC Generations. So it's not going to be too much of a hassle to, really get that up and running. Whereas another studio would have to build it completely from scratch, new engine, everything. Also, the code bar to the council will be deleted. Yeah, I noticed that. I saw that in a little thing. That's worrying to say the least. Hello, 43 lesbians. I'm literally playing F1 2012 right now. What are we talking about? The usual stuff and nonsense that I usually talk about. WRC game licenses, EA won't produce them anymore. No, they won't. As I say, they bought the license, they've made a game, they stopped making rally games to call to them, so there's no way they're going to take up the license again in the future. I'm not saying forever. They could come back in 20 years and take it over again. Maybe rally gets really, really popular in 20 years. We don't know. We don't know. And they could come along and buy it again. But for the future, right now, for like the next 10 years, there's no way EA are now going to step back into the WRC again after they just dropped out. That's not how it works. No way. Gosh, I bloody love the Toka City. Yes, Toka Touring Car Championship, 1997. Came out around the same time as F1 97. I think it was about a month difference. And I was just flip flopping between the two. Oh my god, flip flopping between the two. Yes, I was working in a warehouse at the time, and like as soon as I get home, it was either F1 97 or Toka touring car. In fact, I think I used to have Toka as like the warm up, and I used to do some F1 afterwards. Oh, those were the days. Such a good game, especially the last one from EA, Toka Race Driver 3, with the World Tournament mode, epically made. Yes, and the Toka Grid series has declined. Well, it hasn't been great since Race Driver Grid. That's true. Race Driver Grid, once again from Codemasters, was perfect. And then they go and make a sequel, and it was rubbish, just like F1 2010. That was perfect. Then they made F1 2011, and it was rubbish. Why, Codemasters? Why? Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Grid 2019 was a disaster, and Grid Legends failed because it came out a week before GT7. Yeah, that's a very curious decision. I never understood why they did that. And I agree with you. Grid, I played that about a year ago, Grid 2019. It was meh. And I am currently playing Grid Legends just because I want to get through the career mode. But once again, it's just meh. I mean, it's one with a storyline like we've got in Breaking Point. That was entertaining for the 5 hours that it lasted.
Um, I still, I still laugh at the fact that that woman, I can't remember her name, when she lost her leg and then she came back and she started racing literally straight after. That that would never happen in real life. I'm sorry. No, no, no. Not that quick. Anyway, not that quick. It probably does happen, but you certainly wouldn't lose your leg and then come back straight afterwards into no, no, no. That's not how it works. But anyway, that was quite fun. But yeah, the rest of it, no. Well, no job, no life goals either. That's the way I see it. I've been there myself many times. Codemasters will be shut down within the next year. Well, you heard it here first from the 43 lesbians. Would not all be surprised. I mean, after Codemasters gave the rights to EA to take over the F1 license, their name has not even been really relevant and mentioned as before. Sound is going up and down in volume. That's probably me sitting back in the chair and then coming forward again. Is that what it is? Yeah, it's probably me. I do apologise. On my desktop, the camera is up in the air, so I can just sit like this, you see. But on the laptop, it's down a bit, so I've got to sort of hunch forward. So yes, I apologise. That's me going forwards and backwards, and it's only the laptop microphone, which wherever it is on the laptop, can't even see where the microphone's hole is. It's only like a little tiny pinhole. Could be up there, in fact, with the camera. So yeah, that's what it is. As I'm going back, the sound will go down. If I come forward, it will come back up again. And to me, Formula 1 2 for 2020 was my last F1 game on a console. Was the last game by Cody's. I remember hearing rumours before EA bought Codemasters that were going to be bought by 2K, the same people who did the Yeah, I heard that as well. They were actually outbid by EA for that. They offered just short of $1 billion, 962 million or something, and EA came in with 1.2 billion, and so that's how they got the F1 license. TB Codemasters is on the brink. Oh, I agree, it's not good. Both companies are rubbish. Hello TB, hello Champ 92. I think we need new companies. It's about time, like, the real things need to change for the better for the gaming scene, and the cash grab must stop and end. Yeah, I agree. Will be ashamed to lose Codemasters given that they've been around for so long. Yes, it will. I remember them back in the 80s when they first started. Two brothers, the Darling brothers, started Codemasters in their bedroom. That was the days when you could start coding games in your bedroom. Oh my god. And just made it an epic company, and then they sold it. Yeah, to a consortium, and that's who's been running it ever since. Very sad. I can't wait for F1 to finally get rid of Cody's. Yes, time for the return of Sony. If only that was a thing. Unfortunately, has Sony even got a racing studio? Anyone that does racing games? I'm not quite sure. And let us not forget that they did a very successful reboot of Microsoft Cheat in 2017. So good, in fact, that the Hookster made a channel. Yes, please. No. It could have been great. It could have been great, you know. Yes, could have been. I was going to have it on Monday nights before the ERL races. We were going to fire rockets up each other's arses, and then we are going to play F1 properly, and then afterwards we're going to fire rockets up each other's arses again. That was the plan that I had, and it could have been great, but unfortunately the game was shite. It was so shite that pretty much 2 weeks after it came out, they shut down the servers, so they can only play against the AI. That's how confident they were in their game. Codemasters did also good stuff. Let's not forget EA did F1 Challenge. Yes, but EA back then were a lot different compared to now. That's true. Career Challenge on the PS2. Well, that was rubbish, but F1 Challenge on the PC is epic. Yes, it is. That was made by someone else, wasn't it? The best simulation ever to date.
inspiration for R Factor. I can reverse track all of them just by going the wrong way. Yes, that's true. That's true. EA only published that game. They had basically no involvement in the creation of it. Yes, a lot different, as you say. Sometimes I don't understand him. Him and Tommy in the P1 podcast, I do watch their series, but as you say, he doesn't even play himself anymore, and the tool has been for the system. Matt is apparently a truly horrid person, says the 43 lesbians. Well, as I'm on YouTube live streaming, I cannot comment on that, but you can, because you are entitled to free speech. And if that's your opinion and that's what you've heard, then there you go. There it is, everyone. Apparently, Matt is a truly horrid person. No, I'm serious. At times he's just unbearable with his Ferrari delusion. It's getting on my nerves. His fake fan, but yes, Charlie boy. His Ferrari fanboy thing is just an act. I'm also a Ferrari fan, but actually take care about the history of that damn company. I know more about Ferrari than him. He also bent one too many choppers, did Colin? He did, yes, sadly. And sadly, he took 2 other people with him as well, which is always very sad. If he'd have just died on his own in that helicopter, nobody would have said anything, but he did actually kill 2 others at the same time. Ken Block, Travis Pastrina and Dave Mirra were all in Dirt 2 as well. Thank you. I could never remember their names, but now I can. I mean, if that is the case, then why stop it? Well, if it's only really for the views and it's getting embarrassing. He was fallen so down after shutting down Ray's Kitchen in WTF1 as well. I stink at WTF1. He's just... They've just given up on that channel. All they've got now is they do podcasts. There's 2 American presenters now. There's no British people doing it. 2 American presenters and they're doing a podcast and that's it. That's all they're doing now. It's a man and a woman. I can't even remember their names. But that's it. They're not even making short videos, long videos, nothing. Died. WTF1, yes, there you go. Literally dead. Because there are a lot of Ferrari fans who will consume anything that remotely tifosi related. Well, Ferrari can't even do a proper livery without being a laughingstock. Sad times. Fast and Furious is not even about cars anymore. That's true. There's only 3 Fast and Furious movies. All the rest don't exist. Yes. Yes. My favourite is Fast 5. But the only reason it's my favourite is because it's a blatant rip-off of the Italian Job. It's so much the Italian Job, it's not even funny. But that is my favourite one out of all of them. I maybe loved the first 2 movies. Tokyo Drift Competitors was already cringe, but still a lot better than what came out after. I mean, damn, they milked that. Yes, they did. I agree. The Bumblebee one was really good, though. Yes, you are correct. I loved the Bumblebee movie. That was really great. A return to form for Transformers. That was probably the best Transformers. They should have made that one first. Basically, they should have made that one first. And not done all the overblown sequels, because that was a great movie. Really was. But the last one, oh my God. I loved the first WRC game by Sony. Really? No. Studio Liverpool did Wipeout games as well. Yes, they did. I mean, F1 Championships was the best ever last game of Studio Liverpool. I played the living crap out of that game. The best. Yes, it was. Yes, they called that Active Aero. What you just explained that. Oh, thank you. Active Aero, yes. That's what's going to be on the cars next year. I can't wait. But the engine could be a Frankenstein. I mean, I fear this. Yeah, I've also heard that unfortunately the engines for 2026 in testing are running out of power down the straights. So instead of the proposed 50-50 split, which was the 50% electrical power and 50% engine power, they want to still have that for qualifying, but in the race they want to change that to, I think it's 64% of the engine power and only 34% of the electrical energy, so that they don't run out of power. That's what I've heard. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes at F1 at the moment, and they're saying, "Oh," so there's a few problems with this regulation, but yeah, I don't think we're going to see the 50-50 in the race at least next year. It's going to be split more towards the engine power because it's just basically after 8 seconds down the straight, you've completely run out of electrical energy. It's gone, completely drained after 8 seconds. And you know, there's some straights that last a lot longer than eight. I don't know how long those straights at Monza last, but surely there must be more than about 8 seconds, especially the start finish one. There's got to be, and they're just running out of power, which is no good because the car, because it's basically running at full speed using natural energy, just slows down horribly. And if you've got another car behind you, I mean, obviously he's probably slowing down because he's running out of energy as well. But you could get a situation where it could be dangerous because they're slowing down behind another car that's behind you trying to slow down. If you get my drift, inertia and bang, could go straight into the back of each other. So yeah, they've got to sort that out for next year. Which circuits do you reckon will go in the next few years? I reckon Baku will be gone by the end of our contract. Yeah, Baku's a little bit nah, isn't it? Nah. I mean, they're going to get rid of all the classic circuits and bring in all these street circuits. That's what Liberty Media is planning. They only want street circuits. In about 20 years' time, the calendar will just be completely full of street circuits. And there'll be about 4 or 5 European races, and that'll be it. That'll be it. It's bad to happen. It's going to happen. You can see it's going to happen. It's going to take a long time for all these circuits to come in, but in the next 20 years, I guarantee you'll have at least 15 street circuit tracks. I mean, we've got about what 7 or 8 now. There'll be about 15 street circuit tracks, and then you'll have a short European tour where it might still have Silverstone. I'm not quite sure. Who knows? It's been threatened of going for so many years, but it's still going on. But you'll have a short European tour. They'll just go through like England, and then of course in the Italy. You'll probably still have the Italian Grand Prix and a few others like that. But that'll just be a very short European tour, and then the last stage of the season will once again be going into the Far East and countries like that. But that'll be it. I'll say there'll be 15 street circuits in 20 years' time. That's guaranteed because you can see it's exactly what's happening. Exactly what's happening. And, very sad. Very sad. I'm not alone. There are teams basically confirming this at this point, but, well, data's are one thing, on-track experience another one. The new Test Drive Unlimited game was a disaster, says Plano Plessy. Well, you heard it here first. Disaster. I mean, who else other than Clarkson should do it at this point? I don't see it. No, I think they should get the license back and do it again. Because, as I say, they've got these assets from when they had the game before, so they'd be the easy studio to do it. It will be Take-Two. They'll take it over. Only one can see that would be interested in something like that. I heard Konami really planned to do a rally game for PS1. It was cancelled. Wow, really? Dave Hookster's favourite word, rubbish. Leave it alone. It's sad if Codemasters would only have listened a bit more to their audience. They would maybe still have existed as the F1 developers for current games. But yes, they did sold a lot over the years. 2K games are very good, but the online servers let them down sometimes. Oh, thank you, Jamie. There you go. Jamie knows. He's a gaming professional, is Jamie. Yeah, gaming professional. Polyphony do Gran Turismo. Yes. Dave, can you tell me the name of the video in which X-Matty G talks about F1 25 and the details in which he just said he talks nonsense? Yes, I can. It's on the official F1 EA channel. I can't show it to you because I haven't sorted out this OBS yet. Oh, I wonder. Hang on. I wonder if this will work. It might do. Hang on. This might work. Beep, 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 beep.
Wants to move.
Don't worry, everyone. If this does work, this will not take you to Pornhub. I guarantee you. I guarantee you it won't take you to Pornhub. Right, try that, sir. That should be the link to the said video. Don't worry, it's perfectly safe. It's a video on YouTube. It's nothing dodgy whatsoever. I just linked it from the EA account, so that should be the video. Hopefully. That was when I ruled the world. Hello, Mr. Regara. Rest in peace to Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberg. Yes, indeed. Matt and Tommy literally carried WTF1. Yes, they did. If EA lose the F1 license, I can see another scenario where there's a year or two of no F1 games. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. And as I've said before, who else really wants to take it over? No studio wants to take it over because it's a pain in the arse with all the license and all that. It's a pain in the arse. And then they've got to build a game from scratch, from the ground up. Think about Codemasters. They just evolutionize it every year. They've got the same assets and they just improve on those assets every year. They do not have to build it from scratch, because when they did, they had to build F1 2010. That took them nearly 2 years, don't forget. So anyone took it over right now would take them 2 years to build an F1 game. That's obvious. So that, yes, there would be a 2 year gap where there would be no F1 games. Let's talk about that Madrid pile of cack. Can't wait for the Afghanistan Grand Prix. Yes, let's talk about what a pile of cack that was. That Madrid street circuit is terrible. Yes, it is. Madrid is pretty shite. I thought they got Dave to drive the lap around Madrid was the sketchiest lap I've ever seen. I can confirm that was not me. That was not me. Then I'm not opening it. No, it's fine. It's fine, everyone. It's fine. Thanks for the link. I will check it out. No problems. No problems. Not watching that rubbish. No, I quite agree. I quite agree. But yeah, if anyone wants to watch it, that is a 15 minutes of gameplay from F1 25, allegedly. Anyway, that's it, everyone. I've been on here for 1 hour and 16 minutes, and it's nearly 11:30. So I'm going to say thank you so much for this impromptu stream. I didn't think I was going to stream, but I'll say I've just come onto the laptop because it is a lot quicker. I apologise if the sound's been a bit up and down, but it's been better than nothing. That's all I say. How long till we have the North Korean Grand Prix? Yes. I still haven't watched the all seasons this week either. I'll get back to them next week. Lovely. Now, just before I go, I'd like to say I 100% will not be streaming next Thursday. 100%. I'll tell you why, because I've got to have something done to one of my teeth next week. Okay, so I'll be all half, so I won't be able to speak. I won't be able to speak properly. So I will definitely not be streaming next Thursday. If I feel okay Friday, I will do it on Friday. Okay, but next Thursday, 100% will not be streaming. So anyway, there you go. Thanks everyone for watching tonight. Thanks to Champ92. Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much, sir. See you, says Clara Plessy. Yep, thank you, mate. And to the 43 lesbians. And to Jamie as well. Thank you, Jamie, for joining me in the stream. Gaza will be on the will Gaza be a dirt circuit by any chance? Good night. Have a happy weekend. Now you're playing with power, Nintendo. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Regard, for joining me tonight. We want to hear you try and stream with Num Mel. No, that is not happening. No. So I definitely won't be here next Thursday for the stream due to the fact I've got to have a little bit of dental problems sorted out. Okay. But I'll say if I feel okay, I shall be here on Friday instead. Okay, I should be here on Friday if I feel okay. If I don't feel okay, then I should just miss the stream for 1 week. I almost missed it this week, but I got here. As I said, every week I can make it, I will try to make it. But, unfortunately, real life always gets in the way. And today it was the plumbers. Water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Yes, it was the plumbers. Next week it's going to be the dentist. No one in Chatham has teeth anyway. This is true. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been awesome, as always. And yes, 500th episode, all seasons on Sunday if I ever get it finished and have to keep dealing with the bloody plumbers. But yeah, on Sunday, 500th episode. It's been a long time coming, almost 8 years now, but we finally did it. And anyway, thanks to Primal Pleasure as well, Jamie, Mr. Regala, I think I said him as well. I think that's everyone. Just got to the top. I'm sorry you can't see the messages. Back to normal at some point, but as I say, better than nothing. Better than nothing. Yeah, that's it. That's everybody. Okay, thanks everyone. Awesome as always. For me, oh, oh, got something. What have I got? Oh, what have I got? I've got this. I don't know what this is doing here. Anyway, thank you for me and Mr. TB the Bear. This, I'll tell you what, this camera's a lot wider, isn't it, than the other one? Have you noticed that? The screen aspect is a lot, not, it's in widescreen, the same as the other one, but it's capturing a lot of a wider view, as you can see. So you've got more room for TB. More room for TB, yes, everyone's favourite bear, yes, you little fuck. Can I say that on YouTube? Can I say fuck on YouTube? Can I? Oh, well, it's tough fucking shit because I just fucking said it. And about 5 million restarts. That's it. That's it. Anyway, that's it. Thanks, everyone. I will catch you later. Find out the button now to switch this off. I'm still learning. Oh, here we go. Stop streaming. We'll have that one. Thanks, everyone, and good night.